Before we start today's video, I would like to talk about my experience with today's sponsor, Colon Broom. Recently, I lost 30 pounds with a change of diet and regular exercise, but it's been hard to lose the weight and keep it off. Our editor, Nick, has been on Colon Broom Premium for a few months now and recommended it to me. So I decided to give Colon Broom Premium a try, and I've been using it for about a month, and I feel amazing. I'm less bloated, and I have more energy. Because I have more energy, it makes it easier to exercise, so I'm continuing to lose weight and keep it off. Colon Broom Premium's key ingredients have helped me with my weight loss. Like L-carnitine turns fat into fuel, which gives me energy. Vitamin B6 helps reduce tiredness and fatigue. Both those ingredients make it easier for me to exercise. Plus, vitamin B6 helps boost my immune system. Capsimax helps reduce my cravings, so I'm not constantly snacking on junk food. Psyllium husk helps with my gut health, and having a healthy gut is very helpful in my weight loss journey. Also, because I'm getting more exercise and my gut is really healthy, my mood has improved tremendously and I've been able to focus more easily. Colon Broom Premium is definitely going to be part of my day-to-day routine from now on. For our amazing viewers, Colon Broom has some great offers. Discover their epic sale and score 6 months of supply of Colon Broom Premium at an astonishing 60% discount. Act fast, this exclusive deal won't last long. Apply the code PARANORMALLY at the checkout for an additional 10% off your entire purchase. Tap the link in the description below to seize your discounted Colon Broom Premium supply before it's gone. Also, don't forget to check out the 100% free app where you can get your daily dose of poop jokes and keep up with all your trackings. You can find the app in any app store that you use. Again, thanks to Colon Broom for sponsoring today's video, and don't forget to click the link below to get your 6-month supply, and by doing so, you'll be helping support Paranormally Listed. Number 3. Willie Hammonds. North Tarrytown was a village in New York. In 1996, the village changed its name to Sleepy Hollow. The famous ghost story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving, featuring the Headless Horseman, took place near North Tarrytown. In 1983, when this case happened, the town was called North Tarrytown and had a population of around 8,000 people. It was home to 38-year-old Willie Hammonds and his 43-year-old girlfriend, Alicia Pace. Hammonds was an unemployed truck driver and Pace was a nurse's aide. The couple had a volatile relationship that was rife with abuse. One time, Hammonds beat Pace's daughter with a candlestick because he thought she was sabotaging their relationship. On a different day, after a fight, Hammonds slashed his throat with a knife, but he was not seriously injured. On the night of April 30th, 1983, Hammonds and Pace were drinking at a bar. Afterward, they got into Hammonds' car. Hammonds wanted Pace to go back to his home, but she didn't want to. She wanted to sleep at home because she was going to New York City the next day with her ex-boyfriend. They were going to look at a used car she wanted to purchase. An argument ensued, and Hammonds pulled out a folding knife. He stabbed his 43-year-old girlfriend in the chest and abdomen 4 times. Hammonds then started driving. They came across a police car, and Hammonds did a U-turn. Pace managed to get the key out of the ignition and put her foot on the brake. This caused the car to stall. Officers in the car pulled up to them and asked if everything was okay. Hammonds screamed that he couldn't live without her. He then stabbed himself in the throat and chest. 2 officers had to wrestle the knife away from him. Both Hammonds and Pace were taken to the hospital. Hammonds wasn't too seriously injured, but 43-year-old Alicia Pace died 4 hours later. Hammonds was charged with second-degree murder. Before his trial, Hammonds talked to a psychiatrist. He told them that he had nightmares where Pace's ghost came to him and tried to comfort him. She told him to be courageous, but he was deeply disturbed by the visits. He couldn't sleep for days afterward. Hammonds went to trial in June 1984. He pleaded not guilty, claiming when he stabbed Pace, he was suffering extreme emotional disturbance. So he should only be found guilty of the lesser charge of manslaughter. He said he didn't want to kill Pace, he just wanted to scare her. He was worried that he was going to lose her to her ex-boyfriend. The jury deliberated for 2 days. Willie Hammonds was found guilty of second-degree murder. He was sentenced to 20 years in prison. If Willie Hammonds served his entire sentence, he would have been released in 2003. Number 2. Adrian Daou. Vanier is a neighborhood in Ottawa, Ontario, which is Canada's capital. It was home to 36-year-old Jennifer Lee Stewart. Stewart was addicted to crack cocaine, and she was a sex worker. Stewart had 4 children, and she was estranged from them. On August 19, 2010, Stewart purchased some crack from her dealer. Then, she joined up with several other women who were walking the streets. At some point, she found herself alone. The next morning, Stewart's dead body was found in the parking lot of an apartment building. Initially, the media reported that she had been stabbed with a knife, but the truth was that she was attacked with an axe. She had been struck in the head, wrists, and legs. There were no signs of sexual assault. The police followed up on several leads, but it wasn't long before the case went cold. 2.5 years passed. Then, in February 2013, a 22-year-old low-level drug dealer named Adrian Daou was serving a 9-month sentence for possession for the purpose of trafficking and failing to appear in court. He was being held in isolation, and he had been placed in a straitjacket. Daou was mentally ill, and he had been trying to eat his flesh and kill himself. Daou asked to speak to a detective. He said he was the one who killed Jennifer Stewart. He initially said that he killed her with a military knife, but he later said he attacked her with an axe. This was an important detail that was not released to the public. Daou also knew the areas on the body where she had been struck with the axe. He claimed he killed her to jumpstart his hip-hop career. He thought that killing her would make him the world's most creative and best rapper. He also said that her ghost was haunting him. He claimed that he was smoking a joint on a bike path one day, and suddenly her ghost flew by him. He was now seeing her ghost several times a day. He said that seeing the ghost proved that there was a God and heaven. Daou was charged with Stewart's murder. Adrian Daou went to trial in November 2015. He was found guilty and given an automatic life sentence with no chance of parole for 25 years. Daou's lawyers appealed the sentence because the police officer who took the confession testified and gave his opinion on the integrity of the confession. He was not qualified to give his opinion on the veracity of the confession. In June 2021, Daou's conviction was overturned and he was ordered to go to trial again. Adrian Daou's second trial started in March 2023. It lasted 6 weeks. He was once again found guilty and sentenced to life with a chance of parole after 25 years. Number 1. Lao Ming-Fong. On May 24, 1999, 14-year-old Lao Ming-Fong went to the police in Hong Kong. She told them that a ghost of a woman was haunting her. The police didn't take her seriously. She then explained that she knew who the ghost was. It was the ghost of a woman she saw being tortured, and she knew the woman was dead. She could take the police to the apartment where the woman had been held and died. The police were still doubtful, but 3 officers went with the girl. When they arrived, it was clear that the girl had been telling the truth. There were bloodstains throughout the apartment. In the refrigerator were human organs in a plastic bag. They also found a tooth. Perhaps most disturbing was that they found a human skull stitched into a Hello Kitty mermaid plush toy. Hello Kitty is a character created by Yuko Shimizu in Japan in 1974. She had first appeared on a vinyl coin purse. In 1999, the character, whose name is Kitty White, was immensely popular in Hong Kong. The remains were identified as 23-year-old Fan Mei-Yi. Fan had a difficult life. She was born in 1976 in Hong Kong. She was abandoned by her family when she was young and grew up in an orphanage. When she was 15, she was asked to leave the orphanage because that was the age maximum. Now homeless, she turned to sex work and eventually became addicted to drugs. In 1996, she married one of her clients. Her husband was a drug addict and abusive. In early 1998, Fan discovered that she was pregnant. This was a turning point in her life. She decided to get clean and leave her husband. She got a job as a hostess at a nightclub. She gave birth to a son in November 1998. Sometime in early 1999, Fan Man Yi was working and she stole 33-year-old Chan Man Lok's wallet. Chan was a drug dealer, pimp, and gang member. And the wallet was 4,000 Hong Kong dollars, which was worth about $500 US. Chan discovered that Fan had stolen the wallet. He demanded his money back, plus an additional 10,000 Hong Kong dollars, which was about 1,250 American dollars. Fan gave back the money she had stolen, but she was a single mother who didn't have much money. She needed more time to get the additional 10,000 Hong Kong dollars. So Chan kidnapped her and planned to force her into sex work. On March 17, 1999, Chan, 14-year-old Mei Ling-Fong, and two other gangsters, 21-year-old Luang Weng Lu and 26-year-old Liang Xing-Shu, kidnapped 23-year-old Fan. In several news stories, Lao was described as being groomed by Chan so she could be a sex worker. They took her to an apartment that Chan rented. They then proceeded to torture her every day. She was raped many times. They constantly beat her, and at times they beat her with an iron bar. They burned her by dripping melted plastic on her. They poured chili sauce into her sores. They tied her to a rack so she wouldn't pick at her scabs. On one occasion, she was kicked 50 times in the head. When they got bored of torturing her, they would go into another room and play video games. Then, sometime around April 14th or 15th, 1999, 23-year-old Fan finally succumbed to her injuries. She had suffered a month of horrifying abuse. The three men put her body in the bathtub and dismembered it. They boiled the skin off the bones and threw most of the remains in the garbage. They saved some of the organs in the refrigerator. Then they sewed the skull and some dead insects into the Hello Kitty mermaid plush doll. It's not known why they did this. After Mei Ling-Fong led the police to the apartment, Chan Meng Lok, Liang Wei-Lun, and Liang Xing-Shu were arrested. The three men's trial started on October 20th, 2000. Lao testified against the three men in exchange for immunity. The prosecution's biggest problem was that since the police only found organs, the skull, and a tooth, the medical examiner could not determine the cause of death. The men's lawyers argued that Fan Man Yi died of a drug overdose. They also argued that the men hadn't intended to kill Fan. On December 6, 2000, the men were convicted of manslaughter. They were all sentenced to life in prison. Liang Xing-Chu appealed his sentence. In March 2004, it was reduced to 18 years. He was released in April 2014. Then, in August 2022, when he was 48, he was arrested again for sexually assaulting a 10-year-old girl. He was sentenced to a year in jail. The Hello Kitty murder case, as it's come to be known, is one of the most notorious crimes in modern Hong Kong history. And it may have gone undiscovered had Lao Ming-Fong not been haunted by the ghost of Fan Man Yi. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. If you did find it interesting, please make sure you subscribe. We'll have a new video about the paranormal every week. If you just discovered this channel, please make sure you check out our other channel, Criminally Listed. We have over 325 videos featuring bizarre but true crime stories. You can find it at youtube.com/criminallylisted. We also have a podcast about cold cases that were eventually solved called Criminally Listed Presents Into the Killing. You can find it on Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon Music, and anywhere you find great podcasts. But that's all for today. Thanks again for watching.